Hey, what's up guys? It's Nico, and in this video I want to introduce a new tool that I've been working on, and this tool is going to replace a tool called Compete. Now if I hover over the Compete icon, you can see that the Compete tool is still available, and it will be available probably for the whole month of April, but starting in May we will discontinue Compete and replace it with SEO. And SEO is the new tool that is available to you as soon as you see this video. So let's open it up. So the SEO tool, let me resize the window here. The SEO tool has a search tab and an audit tab. It takes a search query or a URL. It has a country selector and a language selector. Now, if I want to blog about, let's take the example from my last video, which was, I think, how to become vegan. So, how to become vegan. Let's assume we are writing a blog post about how to become vegan. Then we want to optimize it for SEO. What we want to do is, we want to check the top search results and mimic what they are doing. And you can do this now inside SEO. So let's use this topic as the search query. Let me just paste it in. Select the country, select the language, which is United States and English by default, and run a search. Now, what you're seeing right here is the top 10 search results from Google. I may increase this to 20 in the future, but for now, 10 is all we need. We will see as we go. So the tool now says, hey, select 1 to 5 search results to audit. You can see this is the top search result. This is the number 1, and it goes all the way down to number 10. Now the tool wants me to select at least one search result to perform an audit. So what happens if I select this search result? You can see that the audit tab now becomes green, and I can run an audit for one site. Or I can run an audit for 3 sites. Or I can run an audit for 5 sites, but I cannot run an audit for 6 sites. It's 1 to 5, and the sweet spots for me personally is around 2 to 3 sites. So what I want to do is I'm going to click this search result, hold down my mouse and hover over these search results. So you can select and unselect them pretty fast. Now, ideally, you would check these sites and see if they are talking about what you want to optimize for. So you can just click this icon here and open this site in a new tab. Okay, I can now review the site, read it, and see if this site is actually talking about what I want to talk about. Or what I can do is I can use the arrow over here and download the site. And you can see that this site has 2,600 words, 15,000 characters, 16 headings. I can add the content to my canvas, if that's what you need. I can add the outline to my canvas, or I can check out the sections individually and add them to my canvas, or use the Write For Me feature, which basically takes this as context and rewrites it. But I don't want to do this right now. Maybe we do this later, or you have to figure this out yourself. It works similar to the rewrite option that you found in Compete. So what I want to do is I want to quickly check if this site talks about what I want to talk about. And if it does, I can close it and say, okay, I want this site inside my audit. Or if I don't, I can unselect it and select a different one. So let's download the second page. And now you see, oh, 0 words, 0 characters, and 0 headings. It says, oops, it looks like I couldn't crawl this page, possibly blocked for robots. Now some sites don't want you to crawl them, and we respect this. We will see if we can do something about it as we go. For now, we just respect their wish to not be crawled, and that's about it. You can include this search result, but since we didn't find any content, it wouldn't make sense to include it in our audit. So let me close this and let's check out the third search result. So it has 2,400 words, 13,000 characters, and I can quickly review it and see if it makes sense, if it talks about stuff I want to talk about. And if it does, I can include it in my audit, and you would go on with these sites until you find 1 to 5 sites that you want to optimize for. Again, I said my sweet spot is around 2 to 3 sites. You can figure this out yourself, but I want to move on and finally run an audit. All right, let's click on audit. And you will see that our NLP servers may take a minute. So this can take anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. Now let's talk about what we're seeing right here. Based on the selected sites, which you can see if you scroll all the way down, it's The Guardian and Zen Habits. It's the same site that you just selected over here. Based on these sites, we want to hit these targets. So if you look at these 4 boxes, these are optimizing for structure. We have 4 words on our canvas and we want to hit 2,500 to 3,000 words. We have 0 headings. Let's turn this into a heading. We have 1 heading and we want to hit 12 to 14 headings. You can see that by turning this into a heading, the score went from 0 to 1, which is not that bad. We want to have at least 20 paragraphs and we want to have 2 images. Now, I'm going to talk about these keywords in a second because this is where the magic happens. But just some final words on the structure optimization. Even if you hit all these targets over here, you will barely make it out of the red zone because the structure, it is not as important. So these are just guides and you will optimize for them, but they don't make the majority of the score. The majority of the score is calculated based on the topic. And I will talk in a second what I mean. Before we go on, before we go to the topic section, and yes, these are topics, not only keywords, I'm going to open up the planner. Now the planner helps to create an outline. And I want to show you what I mean by that. If I open up the planner, I will get a window that looks like this. It shows me all the sites that I've selected. So if you selected more sites, you will see them over here and you will be able to scroll horizontally. But for now, I only have 2 sites and I want to create an outline based on these sites. So I can just review all the headings of these sites and see if there's something that I want to base my own outline on. So for example, I can click these headings, then I have them pop up over here and I can move them around. And this is basically my outline. I can compose my outline on all the search results that I've previously selected. Or you can unselect them, or you can remove them like this. Or, and the coolest thing about it is, for example, if I take the 14 things you need to know before you go vegan, I can use the subtopics feature over here, and this queries our AI and asks for subheadings based on this heading. Now, based on the 14 things you need to know before you go vegan, AI recommended what is veganism, why are people going vegan, what are some benefits of going vegan, and you can go on and on. You can select different topics from here, generate subtopics, or you can use the generated subtopics and use subtopics on them. So you can really dig deep here and create the perfect outline for your blog post using just the planner. But this is just a demonstration, so I'm going to move on. I like this outline. Let's add it to my canvas. And if for some reason you want to change it, you can open the planner again and move things around and change things and flash out subtopics. But let's move on because the planner is just a very tiny feature inside this SEO tool. All right, now that we have our outline, we can see that the score went up from 1 to 7. We now have 50 words, 8 paragraphs, 8 headings, but still 0 images, right? All right, so before we move on to the most important section of this tool, you can click the history button over here and you can restore your last 5 audits. So if for some reason you want to audit like a different set of sites, let's say you want to audit these 4 sites, it will say, hey, your current audit will be lost. Yep, let's go. So you're generating a new audit. And then if you want to go back to the recent audit, you can use the history button. So based on these 4 sites, it's not vegan that is the most important topic, it is vegetarian. Really the key is in selecting the sites. But let me quickly restore my first audit and we are back. So vegan is the most important topic and I want to quickly explain how this works. Now you have a list of topics over here. The first one is the most important one and the last one is the least important one. For example, healthy is less important than vegan, but healthy is more important than fortify or pasta or video or license. And the keywords or the topics with these flame icon, they are the most important topics on these sites. So we should optimize our blog post for vegan, vegetarian, people, recipe, protein, food, guardian. Oops, guardian? How does this make sense? We are using NLP technology to not only extract keywords, but topics. And this is why we are different. We are not just looking what keywords are used, but we are understanding what topics these sites are talking about. And one topic here is The Guardian. And The Guardian happens to be a news site, as you can see in your sources. So it doesn't make sense to optimize for this keyword. What I can do in this special case, I can click the sun icon over here and disable it. Now the Guardian topic is not considered when calculating the score. And you can disable all these keywords or topics over here. You can see the score goes up because these topics are not considered anymore. But let me quickly activate them because great vegetable health, eating, veganism, these topics make sense. Now you could argue that great is a common topic, is a common keyword, you don't want to optimize for it, that's fine. Just disable it and you're good to go. But be careful with what you disable because ideally you want to optimize for these hot keywords and for a lot of these keywords here in the middle, and maybe you don't want to optimize for these keywords like video. Hey, just exclude it. You don't want couple, you don't want snack, you don't want found, that's fine. Just exclude them from your list and start optimizing. What do I mean by that? You would now use your favorite tools like frameworks and long form to flesh out your content. And if you, for example, you add the keyword vegan, you currently have it 8 times. And if I just type vegan, I have it 9 times, but I need it 25 to 34 times. And the same goes with all these keywords. So for example, I want to have chicken at least 3 times. So if I just add chicken 3 times, you will see that, well, actually 2 to 3 times. You will see that it will turn green, and so we are optimized for this keyword. But of course, don't just stuff your keywords, write actual content using frameworks and long form. Yes, and as you go, the score goes up, of course. And that's how you optimize all your blog posts. You know exactly what topics to optimize for. And in case you have no idea how you could include a particular keyword, you can just click on it. For example, protein. Let me just click on it. And now you see that protein is used like this: complete protein, combining protein, essential protein, vegan protein. Now these are the long tail combinations and the examples how they are used. For example, protein deficiency is a really rare thing in the Western world. Now you can read this and understand how the topic protein is actually used. And you can get these examples on all these keywords. For example, eating, eating plants, eating biscuits, eating chicken, eating plan. And you have all these examples, you can make sense of them. And you can go further and use the Write For Me feature, which takes the text over here as context and tries to come up with a unique variation of it and expands on it a little bit, kind of like rewriting. But try this for yourself and see if it helps in your workflow. Now let me scroll up again. To wrap it up, SEO is the missing link that you need to optimize your blog post for search engines. Again, these are not only keywords, these are actually topics that we extracted based on the sites that we selected earlier. And this extraction happens with our NLP servers. So this is very advanced technology. And if you take this seriously, your content will rank. So finally, this is just a demonstration. And I'm working with someone on the group to create a tutorial, a hands-on tutorial with a real example of writing a blog post. I hope we can ship this by the end of April or in the first week of May. I'm not sure yet. We will see how it goes. But you can already use this feature on your own or just wait for the tutorial, which ships in 2 to 3 weeks, and we go from there. And I want to introduce the first feature that is not Closer's Copy. It is a third-party software that you can now use inside Closer's Copy, but you need your own account. Now let me write something here. For example, the 14 things you need to know before you go vegan. Let's say something like the first thing you need to know before you go vegan is. And I'm going to use expand to write some copy for me. So the first thing you need to know before you go vegan is that it's really not as hard as people say. If you decide to go vegan, well, I will not read this out because it really doesn't matter. Let me just format it here. And what you can do now is, let me close the SEO tool. What you can do now is, but again, you need your own account. This is not a Closer's Copy feature. It's just a third-party integration you can use inside the editor. You can highlight it and you can check for plagiarism. And this is Copyscape. You can see that there's no problem with this content because, you know, our AI is pretty good with writing unique content. It analyzed 79 words, which matches this number over here, and it cost me 3 cents. Again, you need your own account and you can set it up over here. So my account is Nico Engler, and you know, my API key. And once you save your credentials, you can then use Copyscape inside Closer's Copy. It's totally optional. You don't need to use it. It's really up to you. Closer's Copy will not create their own plagiarism checker because Copyscape already does a phenomenal job. Personally, I'm not interested in this field, so I just have this integration for you. You can use it. If you don't want to use it, that's totally fine.